I swear, it's every single year we do the exact same thing. I see it from all kinds of people, all walks of life, all shapes, colors, and sizes. Everybody celebrates their tax return as if they got some kind of raise, like it's a bonus or something. Like are we going to completely not acknowledge this literally means too much money was taken from us throughout the year? The 300 and, well, I guess it's more than 365 days, but for the whole year, every single paycheck you got, I guarantee you were talking about, man, where's all my money going? Man, where's all my money? And then you get this tax return and you're like, yeah, it just made all this bread. And it's like, no, you just got overcharged. They used to start wars over stuff like this. Like you could be a schmuck like me who just works his job, tries really hard, commission-based, happens to work for a W-2 company, and then at the end of the year, after having a really good year, owes $2,000 to the federal government. I guess you decide what makes more sense for you. Feel free to leave a comment, by the way. Welcome aboard The Uncommon Show. My name's Tyson. I'm going to be your host. Obviously, we're going to tackle the tax bracket and how you can take the most advantage of that. Just kidding. I'm not going to explain how to beat taxes. I'm simply going to complain about them. Complaining about something, as long as you have a microphone and you're putting it on the internet, it means you're doing something about it. We're going to discuss some golf. The Thin Reaper's got a range report for us again this week. I think he's talking about the Masters, a tradition unlike any other. So without further ado, I might as well get into the thing that everybody actually shows up to the show for, and that is the Sure Things Picks of the Week. Welcome back to the Sure Things segment. Obviously, it's a very sad time for Sure Things. Not because of a bad record. As we discussed last week, 17-9 on the year. First year gambling with the NFL is tip-top, world-class, excellent stuff. In the world of degenerates, I'm sort of a Rain Man figure. I was a gambling R-word, and I turned into a savant. 17-9. So the sad things about Sure Things are not Tyson's pickability. The sad thing about Sure Things is that football's over. Will this success carry into the other things that we want to talk about and spend our hard-earned money on? Or are we going to flop? I guess we'll see. Today is February 15th, 2026. So it is NBA All-Star Day. They're trying a new format. No real reason to talk about that. I mean, if you're gambling on the All-Star game, I really don't have anything to say to that. If you're gambling on the All-Star game for the NBA, unless you're betting on real off-the-wall stuff, just goofy stuff, you need help. I wanna spend most of my time discussing the upcoming, the current, I guess, Pebble Beach AT&T Pro-Am. What a display from Scottie Scheffler. I mean, I feel like I ask myself, are they just giving him world number one because somebody needs to compete with Tiger's record? You know, like, is he truly the best player in the world week in and week out? The answer is yes. It's absolutely yes, because stuff like this happens, right? He's not really in contention necessarily. He needs to go out and do something that, you know, when you say, I got to go shoot a 63 to have a chance, that demoralizes most people. That demoralizes pro golfers. At a place like Pebble Beach, how do you not make that guy world number one, right? Like, when you see stuff like that, that's why you go, oh, right. That's how he's world number one, even though he doesn't win every week, because he's competing every single week. And the more into golf you get, the more you realize, how do you play at that high a level week in and week out with the level of success you have? Because you got to think, with every win, it's got to get harder and harder to get back on that winner's circle, because you start, it's human nature to get comfortable, get complacent, and just kind of get off the gas pedal a little bit. And Scottie's not a guy that necessarily seems like he's ever on the gas pedal. Seems like Scottie Scheffler is pretty comfortably sitting in the back seat, just kind of like enjoying the view, you know? And he's somehow world number one. it raises the question of, do you need to be a competitive nut to be at the top of the world in a space, like in a competitive space, really? Do you need to be a Michael Jordan kind of guy that's taking everything personally, making things up so that way they get that fire inside and get after it? Or can you just be a happy-go-lucky guy who puts all of his trust in God and just kind of says, you know what, it's going to be what it is. And it just so happens that for the last 112 or however many weeks it is, I'm the best golfer in the world. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. All I want to do is be a good dad and, be a good spokesperson for my faith and treat my wife good. That's all I really want to do. This golf thing, it's just cool. The ball happens to be going where I want it. And it's like, when that is a perspective that somebody has at Scottie Scheffler's level, it really starts to, I feel like it makes you feel bad about yourself. At least a guy like me, I'm a competitive junkie. I compete with myself. I compete with people who don't know that we're competing. I compete. It is just what I love to do. I want this. I want things to, I want to butt heads a little bit. I want to talk trash. I want someone to get fired up. I want someone to throw a punch because they're so mad. Now, whether it's me or somebody else, I don't care. I just want to feel passion. I want to see fire, baby. And then I watch a guy like Scottie Scheffler who's just like, yeah, just hit the ball and put it in the hole. And he's the best in the world by far. It's not even close. It kind of makes me go, geez, I take myself way too serious, especially out on the golf course. I'm no thin reaper. That guy's a freaking hothead. But, I lose my mind every now and then. And it's amazing. It's amazing. I wonder if Scottie was like that. Like as a kid, if he was like, man, I'm so mad. I just shot a 65 and only won the tournament by 4 strokes. I'm pissed right now. Like I wonder if he had that level. And then he was like, once he got to the PGA Tour, he was like, hey, this is, I can't do this. I'm gonna lose more than I win. I can't beat myself up so hard. I need to just focus on the next shot and hitting the shot that's in front of me. And then all of a sudden, maybe once that switch flipped, switch flipped. Sometimes I say flip switch. The switch flipped, maybe, for Scottie. He realized, I can't do this to myself day in and day out. I can't sweat every single shot. I can't get upset at every single tournament. I need to just not really give a crap. And then all of a sudden he's like, oh, I'm world number 1. I don't care. I don't give a crap. Oh, I'm world number 1 again and again and again and again and again. And I imagine at week 100, it's probably easier to not care about being world number 1 than it is week like 4. You're probably on week 4, you're probably like, hopefully I haven't figured out I'm a fraud yet. Because, like, can you really buy into I'm the best in the world? Like, I know you have to have this belief of, like, there's nobody better. Like, I'm here to compete. But you have to think the pressure is immense at that couple week mark. Maybe it's not week 4. Maybe it's week 7 or 10, Or maybe just week 2. Following up the first week, you're world number 1, I like to think I just haven't found the thing that I'm going to be world number 1 at yet. Maybe it's podcasting or internet show hosting or YouTubing or whatever, maybe. I have no real desire to be number 1 in the world in any of those things, but I like to think that it's still possible for me to be world number 1 at something. What a cool thing to say you are. World number 1. World number 1 Tyson Tully. World number 1. That's fun. That's fun. I might just make that my own nickname. What is the rule on giving yourself a nickname? Like, can you just like start saying like, yeah, people call me world number 1? Can you say that? I'm going to get a lot of questions for sure. Like, well, what are you world number 1 at? And no, it's just my nickname. My nickname is world number 1. That's exciting. I have a new nickname. That's been another edition of Sure Things. I didn't really give any picks for that. I don't really care. I wanted to brag about my NFL record one more time, and I did it. 17-9. Can't wait for next year. Peace. So like I touched on a little bit ago at the start of the show, I owe the federal government money, and it really brought up an interesting point. of, would you rather owe him a couple grand at the end of the year so that way you know you are not paying a dollar over what you're supposed to? Or would you rather get, we'll say same number, $2,000 back as a return because you were overcharged throughout the year? I personally don't like being overcharged for stuff. I hate paying too much money. Right. What would be better? Getting $2,000 back or owe the government $2,000? I don't know. I guess it's all the same in the end, right? Because you're paying the same amount of money, so it would be better to get to have money in your pocket at a random time instead of suddenly owing a couple $1,000s. But I mean, if you knew at the start of the year, like, hey, we're going to charge you too much in every single paycheck, but you're going to get it back like a couple months into next year. Or, hey, at the end of the year, you're going to owe a couple grand. No more than two, but it might be less, but you're going to owe. What it's teaching me is I need to take more ownership of how to play the tax game. I need to play that game. Everything's a game. Money's a game. Taxes are a game. Politics are a game. Life is a game. It's all just a game. You got to learn how to play. And what I'm just going through, hey, leave it. The thing is, folks, if you get a Doberman, understand that you will buy him multiple beds. You will buy him multiple of the same toy. You will have to tell him not to chew on things that could kill him. And he's going to not listen. So if you're thinking about getting a Doberman, I can't speak highly enough of the breed. They're beautiful animals. It's an absolute pleasure and a privilege to watch him grow and watch him move and operate on a daily basis. And the fact that he listens to me is truly an honor. But he will make your life a living hell if you get one. He will not listen to you. He will fight back. He will try to kill himself. And he will destroy something that you hold valuable. And he'll destroy things that he views as valuable. He will show his love by destroying things. Whether it be your hat, your underwear, your socks, your blankets, his beds, whatever it is. So that's my sales pitch on Dobermans. Maybe people can buy some Dobermans and have some extra cushion to deal with all of the things they're going to destroy with these massive tax returns. I don't know. Like when people start talking about making like 5 figures on their tax return, I'm like, hold on. Doesn't that piss you off? I mean, think of how many times you were waiting for that paycheck to come in because you were cutting it close. Meanwhile, that means almost if you hit $10,000 in taxes, that means almost $1,000 too much was taken from you every single month. I mean, think about that. That would piss me off. I mean, I would like to be getting a $12,000 check in a random day in March, but I don't like knowing that every paycheck I get, I'm getting smoked. And maybe this observation is exactly why I don't really understand the whole tax thing, because maybe they're not. And because they have things like kids or student loans or this thing or that thing, I don't know. Then when you do the math, you go, actually, we should be giving you money back because you have all those things and you should be getting a break. Maybe that's what I'm missing. Money's not being taken from you unfairly. It's just being given back to you so that way it is fair. Maybe. But until I actually have the knowledge, I'm going to say it's ridiculous. And Uncle Sam, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You ought to be ashamed of yourself for taking so much money from these single mothers out here. You ought to be ashamed of yourself for beating up a guy who's just working really hard, just trying to take care of himself and his dog and fund his podcast. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, Uncle Sam. I mean, give us a break. You know what? It's this guy's fault. What do you have to say for yourself, Donald?
Our country will be bigger, better, bolder, richer, safer, and stronger than ever before.
If you keep charging people too much in taxes? Is that what you're saying? We're going to be better than ever before because you're charging me too much. You're charging people too much in taxes, and you're taking money from a guy like me?
You're eating the dog, dogs, they're eating the cats, they're eating the pets of the people that live there.
Right. Well, I'm sure he has a point. He's a wonderfully successful man that has achieved levels of success that most people can only dream of. So I guess I'll just chalk that up to good advice. Or maybe we just got Donald Trumped. Anyway, people, please be smart with your tax returns. Understand that it's not a bonus, okay? You are just getting money that you deserve, that you were owed back. And for you 1099 people out there, find ways to keep it. Find ways. And even for you W-2 people, let's make it a goal in 2026 that we aren't going to pay too much at all. We're going to find a way to play this game. Play the game, damn it. Speaking of games, I'm going to kick it over to the Thin Reaper for this week's Range Report. This guy, Scottie, sure is a freak, is he not? Holy smokes. Even when he doesn't win, it's like, God damn, what's he doing next? I mean, what a stud. What a stud. Congratulations to whoever won the Pebble Beach Pro-Am. I don't care enough to pay attention. I care enough just to talk about Scottie Scheffler. I know Tyson didn't give a sure things this week, and I have to thank him because he left it up to me. I'm going to be given the sure thing this week. I'm the only person who's actively out here doing something about what he talks about. Tyson talks about taxes, and he talks about politics, and he talks about this. He's a car salesman. He doesn't know anything. He listens to a couple of podcasts. He doesn't listen to both sides on the podcast. He listens to specific people who really tell him what he wants to hear on podcasts, and then he talks about it in front of his own camera as if that gives him any kind of authority over anything. All that matters is that you're doing something, and I'm actually doing something about the stuff I talk about. I'm going to talk about the Masters. It's coming up. It's coming up. I don't even actually know the official date of the Masters. What does the Goog say? April 9th through the 12th. So, yeah, a couple months away. Let's talk about it, right? Obviously, Scottie Scheffler is going to be the odds-out favorite to win the Masters. I mean, he's the best player in the world every single week for the last however many weeks. You have to think Rory's going to get a certain nod, just being the defending champion and being Rory freaking McIlroy, you know. Bryson always seems to get quite a good amount of love, although he's performed pretty poorly at the last couple Masters, like overall. I know he competes, but I don't think he brings his best stuff, which is why he's always, probably a top 5 pick. He never seems to bring his best stuff all 4 days, and he's always in the running. So you can't forget about Xander. I'm not going to give like a certain this is a sure thing, book it right now. I really just want to talk about who I think you should be on the lookout for that people probably aren't talking about. And the guy that always stands out to me, and maybe there's more people talking about him. It's not like I'm plugged in all that much to know who's talking about who. Obviously, people are talking about Scottie, but I like the big A. Ludwig Oberg. And I'm not saying you should go put money on him to win just yet, but I am saying that if you like the odds and you can get him at a good price, I might be saying that it's worth putting a comfortable amount of money on him. Not an uncomfortable amount. We'll save that for like the week of. Just to be like, yeah, in a couple months I'll forget about it, so it's no big deal. But if it wins, I'll like that. Whereas, the week of, that's when we're like, well, rent's not due for 2 weeks, so let's consider this, Look out for the big A. Look out for him. I think people are going to anticipate Brooks Koepka to do something special because, just because he's back on the PGA Tour. I'm gonna make a pretty crazy prediction right here. You could consider this a sure thing, but this isn't sure things. This is the Range Report, and I go last for a reason, folks. Brooks Koepka and Rory McIlroy won't make the cut. That's a prediction that I'm going to give you. Brooks Koepka and Rory McIlroy will not make the cut. Don't sleep on Jon Rahm either. I think due to last Masters, he's going to get forgotten about a little bit. But what he won, like, 3-4 years ago now at this point, and he's been on live, but I think he's looser than ever. You see him on the Bob Does Sports stuff. You see him on the YouTube videos, and he's very dialed. He's very sharp, but I think he's loose. And I like to see that out of a guy as fiery as John. If he can hone in that fire and just go out and play loose, but allow it to be a focused kind of fire and intensity, look out for John Rahm. Thanks for tuning in to this week's Range Report. I'm going to send it back to the loser who talks about the world as if he's doing anything about it. So, peace. Welcome back. I hope the Thin Reaper took good care of you and gave you lots of useful information on the wonderfully boring game of golf. That's all I've got for you today, folks. Be smart with your tax return. I hope people start to understand that it is not a gift from the government. It is simply them saying, hey, we just got a interest-free loan from you all year. Really appreciate it. Start charging them a vig. Start finding a way. Let's play the game together. I want people to start leaving comments about how they not are cheating the tax system, but how they are playing the tax system. Give me your favorite ways to play the tax game. I want to learn, I want to get better, and I want to save money. All right, I appreciate everybody who tunes into this. Please like, comment, subscribe. Do the YouTube thing. I know you know what it means, so freaking do it for this show. All right, bye, guys.